We're going to be coming up in a
There
minute.
we go. There we go.
And we've got another switch. I tell you what, God is grooming us for something. I'm
Yes.
not quite sure what He has in mind, but we're yielded to Him with everything else, so we're
Yup.
yielded to Him with this too. Because here is yet another week where we are guestless.
But we
our,
still here.
Yeah.
We show up. We gotta show up.
our guest did not show up this evening, but you know that never stops us. We've always got something to talk about, always got something to say. So that's what we're gonna have to do, ladies.
That's it. That's it. We ready. We ready.
We ready?
Yeah.
We
We
ready?
ready.
We'll do
Uh-huh.
our weekend review, yes.
All right.
And we are going to talk a little bit about next week. Yes? Okay.
Yes.
We'll talk a little
Yep.
bit
Yep.
about and who we've got with us on next week. And Bruce, you can bring us up to speed on other things that we have on the calendar coming up. If
Sure.
you got something you can share there. And let's see. Um, do you have any information on the November Write More thing yet?
What?
Do you have any information on that writing challenge that comes up in November? Do you have anything on that yet?
Um,
No.
it starts November
Nashville.
1st.
Okay.
All right, everybody.
Okay.
It's
Well,
time to
that's
roll the open.
informative.
Roll 'em.
Here we go.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Authors Up. We are glad to have you with us. This is our forum for authors by authors, and we always have something good to share with you on Sunday evenings. And good evening to our two listeners that are on so far, Miss Linda Cooks. Good evening to you, Linda. And Angela Cooks Oliphant. Good evening to you, Miss Angie O, our South Carolina connection. I always call her that. Whenever her name comes up, that's what I call
That's it. Good evening.
her. And good evening to you two ladies. Miss Ruth Griffin, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, lady. Good evening,
And
audience, wherever you are. We love you.
yes,
Thank you.
yes, we did. And Victoria, good evening to you, Queenie, birthday lady, and all that
Good
good
evening, everyone. I forgot my crown tonight, but
but
maybe I might still bring it out.
you have this regal glow to you today. So,
Thank
so,
you.
so
Thank you. At 58, chapter 50, entering chapter 58, and it feels good.
it feels good.
Yes. Good
Well,
evening, everybody.
you wear it well. You wear it well because you're
Thank
looking
you, darling. Thank you, darling.
looking good, looking good. Well, we're going to start our program tonight like we usually do. We're going to talk about our week in review, and then we're going to transition over into some other things that we hope will be of interest to you. So let's see who's going to go first in the weekend review.
Wow. Yeah, for our podcast audience, that was Victoria rolling her eyes that way and not trying to be picked. I will go first. How about
All
that?
righty, then. Go ahead.
Good. What's up, Miss Ruth? What you been up to?
Working a lot.
Ooh,
So This past week we've been doing it monthly now where so I work with the North Carolina Guardian Ad Litem program. And if you any part of our audience doesn't know what that is, we are a volunteer organization that advocates for abused and neglected children in the
Mm.
court system. So
Mm.
part of my responsibilities are working with the staff to teach them recruitment and retention for the volunteers. And we have, I mean, some awesome volunteers. I could tell you stories about them, but um, so you guys know how green I was when I first started, even with the podcast. Not much of a talker, that kind of thing. But now I'm, part of my responsibilities are leading that training, getting up in front of audience, my audience and speaking and teaching them how to write, how to speak, how
Good
to,
for you.
basically recruit. And I think like right before the training this week, I had like a come to Jesus moment where I realized, you know what? I like doing this.
All
And it
right.
was just like, that was like the one key that just made the whole thing enjoyable, made it flow. I did great. I'm gonna pat myself on the back.
Well,
I
good
did
for
Good for
great.
you.
So even my
you.
boss came up to me afterwards. She was like, "You did a great job. Not that you didn't do good before, but it was just, I mean, it was incredible, and I'm actually looking forward to the next one." So yeah, so
Awesome.
that
Good
was
for
my week. It was
you.
very
Awesome.
busy week, but it was good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Exactly. Yes. Going outside of that box and doing it well. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great, Ruth. Glad to hear that. Glad
Thank
to
you.
Miss
Yeah, it helps when you have to, talk, you know, hence podcast or yeah,
Exactly.
authors up. So
Yes.
yes,
Good for you. We are so
thank
proud
you.
of you. So
Yes,
proud.
Thank you.
yes, yes, yes. Miss Victoria, what about you? What was your week like?
Well, besides work and I started the first part of the week not feeling so great because I wasn't feeling great and wasn't with you guys last week. But God is a healer, and by the end of the week, I was feeling fine, doing
Awesome.
pretty good. I was able to finally get that magazine information submitted for the. I'm going to be in a magazine, so once it's live, I'll let everybody know where you can look at it. So, but I was so proud to finally get that done. Just yes, yes, yes.
Oh,
And I felt well enough to be able to be on Angie Oliphant's show, Whole and Beautiful, Friday night. She's has a beautiful show on another ALH show of Whole and Beautiful, and I was her guest on Friday night. So I felt good enough to talk through that. So we had a good time.
awesome.
So
Awesome.
that was good, and just doing some planning for some things we have in the future coming up. So it was a really, really good week. It was productive, very productive.
Awesome. 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 And getting ready to call him Eric. Alan had just put up about one of our listeners coming in from Jamaica. And
Awesome.
welcome,
Welcome. Welcome.
welcome to
Jamaica in the house.
Alan's
Yes.
from Love Demonstration Church. Love
In
Demonstration
Jamaica, yeah.
Church. I love
Thank you
that.
for being with us. Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And we hope you will come back and be regular viewers and participate with us. And if you want to make a comment, please feel free to do so. We love to hear from new folks and old folks and
Hmm.
whoever becomes a part of our family. So,
Oh, thank you. She said,
everyone loved the show, Victoria.
good, 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 good. We had a good time. So go back and listen to it. If you're on Facebook, go back and find the Whole and Beautiful. It's out there. So you can always catch the replay. We had a good conversation.
Good, 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 good. That's good. That's
And
good.
how was your week?
My week, I've been trying to think of it. What in the world happened?
That's why we had to go first, Victoria.
Flew
Well, we
by.
gave her enough time.
The week flew by.
Ma'am,
Uh-huh.
I was sitting here thinking, though, I had a wonderful epiphany last week. I was talking with somebody, and we were talking about retirement.
Mm.
And I said, when people think about retirement, they always, or when you're talking about it, if you're in the midst of trying to figure out, do I want to retire? Do I don't want to retire? People always, one of the first thing they say was, if you retire, what are you going to do? And I'm like, are you kidding me? I probably do. I've retired 3 times. I mean, because I'll retire and I go back and work somewhere else for a while and retire again and work somewhere else for a while and have great retirement parties. And it's all big fun. I enjoy it.
Oh,
So many. I was so glad that I have been able to use my retirement well.
Mhm.
I've used it to do things that I really like to do, really
oh,
enjoy
good.
doing. Um, but most of all, I enjoyed the fact that, Ghana is on. Good evening.
Welcome.
Welcome to you. Welcome to those viewers from Kingdom Blessing Church in Ghana. Welcome, welcome. But one thing it's given me is the flexibility of time. And even though I have things to do and I have a schedule in which to get them done, like the broadcasting things and the shows and all of that, I also have the opportunity to just be in place for people sometimes. And last week was one of those weeks where, I would get a call at a time that I normally would not be home or that I ordinarily would be involved in something else. And
Mhm.
I had the time to just allow people to talk, just let them talk. And
Mhm.
in one case, I ended up talking and listening to an individual. We were on the phone for almost 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
And that seems like, yeah, and oh wow, goodness grief, good grief, I could just stay on the phone that long. But when people are uh, not necessarily in crisis, but when you are at a place where you don't have the opportunity to talk, when you're the one that's doing most of the talking all of the time, or you're the one running the program, or you're the one who's the head of the household, or however that works, you don't always have the opportunity to just pour out from, not to give anything to anybody else, but just pour out a little bit of yourself.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Somebody listen to you. In fact, I think one of our 8 at 8s had to do with that. Don't wait till the well runs dry. You know,
Right.
you can't run on empty. You can't do any of those things. And last week for me was just really representative of that. I went and visited a friend who's pretty much homebound right now, and
Wow.
we had lunch together and just had a chance to talk and reminisce and all of that. And I encourage everybody to take the time to sometimes, maybe if you can only do it for a day or half a day, or however it works out for you, but be intentional about
Mhm.
taking that time to smell the roses.
Mhm.
Just stop and smell the roses, just for no apparent reason.
Exactly.
You don't have to want anything. You don't have to be looking for anything. You don't have to be, trying to make something happen. We spend all our time making something happen, making the right connections, making the right changes, making the right. And sometimes you just need to call somebody and say, hey, what's up? And let the conversation fall where it falls.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that was what I had a chance to do last week, and I was glad about it. I was glad.
That was awesome. That was a good thing to do.
Yeah, and did it 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 5 days, 4 of the 5 work days. I
That's
got to
nice.
at some point in the day. So yeah, I was real happy, real happy, real happy, real happy. It was a good time.
Real nice.
So this evening, we are going to share something with you. What's it going to be, Miss Ruth? What's it going to be?
Well, we did have a guest plan and we were excited about the book, but
We got stood
life
up.
happens. Life happens. So, let's see, we announced it a few weeks ago. We had a little bit of a challenge, writing challenge. And we're gonna be talking about it. We're gonna be sharing next week because I believe what is it when you tell somebody what they're doing?
Somebody is at my door, y'all.
Yeah,
I'll be like that.
It's so funny because
we're trying to ignore it,
I'm
but that's
hearing
okay. Life happens. Look.
Go, Victoria. Go do what you got to do. That is so funny because I'm hearing this knocking and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this could be a mystery story. We can call it the knock at the door. Just wait and see who is there. But she had the funniest look on her face because she didn't want to have to deal with it. But sometimes we just got to do what we got to do. So
That's right.
you can go ahead, Miss Ruth.
That's right.
Talk
So
to us a little bit about it.
we were going to share some of our upcoming stuff, including our writing challenge. So that's I kind of I was trying to voluntold. That's the word I was looking for. I voluntold us to take part in that challenge, and I wasn't sure why. But when I got started writing, I understood that sometimes it leads to something bigger. So why are you laughing?
Angie wrote, somebody's knocking. Should I let them in?
Yeah, they probably gave you the wrong house.
I think we should pause until Victoria comes back because I think I need to hear what that was about. And you're still laughing. This is hilarious.
Somebody said one time that as far as our programs are concerned, in our opening, we always say you never know what's going to happen on Office Up. And today,
Why is it usually though, Victoria? I mean, whether it's the water in the computer or the bubbles or now it's the door.
What happened? What happened?
Yeah, no, you please share.
Apparently, it was it's 3 Caucasian brothers with Bibles,
Oh,
and apparently they were looking for somebody with the first name M, who gave them this house address and told them just come on by Sunday night so we can have Bible study.
oh, you should have invited them in.
Can you do that?
I'm just saying. It'd have been interesting, that'd be sure. But
Y'all want to have Bible study on the air?
Wow. Very, very interesting. Very interesting.
oh, wow.
Victoria, there's never a dull moment. Never.
You're like a
ever
magnet
dull
for that.
Whew, I tell
And
you.
it wouldn't go away. They would knock it, and the bell rung, and
We heard.
Yes.
they're still outside. I can hear them talking. You got the wrong house. Potentially way.
Okay, now we are attentive. Ruth, you have
Are
our
we though?
and our listeners are listening. And our folks from Ghana are there and Jamaica.
Yeah, we're sorry. This is
And
not
I
usually how it goes. Not most of the time anyway.
We are not
Although Victoria
at all.
is usually responsible for it.
Yes, yes.
And I don't understand why these things happen to me. I just don't understand.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're just blessed. You're just blessed. That's all. That's all. So go ahead, Ruth. Talk about what we're getting ready to do.
I don't know. I kind of feel like this
Just
could
came
lead to so
together.
much more interesting stuff. Victoria, if you haven't finished writing your piece yet, you could definitely use this.
The
And the
unexpected
unexpected.
wasn't that one
Just pull
of
this into it.
segments that we said we could use
The unexpected.
for the writing challenge.
There
was
you go.
the
The unexpected.
And
Somebody
when we
knocking at
get,
the
I
door
can't
while you.
share everything on the air, but when we get off the air, I'll share more, but I can't on the air. So I'm so sorry, everybody. I just can't.
we understand.
Put
And
it
we're
in your
not gonna
story.
encourage you to do anything you shouldn't.
You know, you're gonna have to get one of those like red lights that they put like outside of studios that says, "Hey, filming right now, please don't."
Right. Live broadcast. Do not
Yeah.
bring them. And then Zai is not home to have answered that. So I'm alone. So I'm going, okay.
We saw the look. We saw the look. We wish they could have seen the look because it was priceless. It was priceless.
All right, on to that story challenge. I am excited about the story challenge. 5 of us will be reading our stories. I was really getting stressed out about it, and then the Lord just dropped back into my heart that I already had a story that I've written, and so I'll be able to share that and just expound upon it a little. So I already had it, so I'm really excited about it. I really am.
Okay. I want to ask while we have her on the line, Angie. Oh, Angie, you were somebody who stepped up to the plate and decided to write a story. How's yours coming? Because next week is the week.
Woohoo!
So you can write it in the comment section. I'm waiting, like I can hear her.
I know, right?
In the comment section, how
you-
that's coming along for you.
Yes, have you finished it? Are you excited? Tell us.
Now I know I've finished mine.
Oh,
Almost finished. Okay.
she said, yes, ma'am. Almost finished. Great.
I don't know. Should I ask her what her category is? Yes. No. Ruth said I can't ask you what your
Can we
category.
ask how many words she has so far?
No.
Why?
Because we're just giving teasers for next week.
She
Well, I
doesn't.
only have 350 words right there.
Oh, you look, you got to get to work on that because we said 750 was the minimum. I'm an overachiever, so I went over. I don't know how to write 750 words. You give me enough time, I'll write about 50,000.
So that's I don't have too far to go though. I'm good. I will definitely have it done.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Look, I do want to tell our listeners and to be sure to invite someone next week.
Yes.
On the show, because this is the first time that we've done something like this. And the 3 of us, of course, will be participating. Each of us has our own story that we are going to share. And we have Angie and we have Francina. Angie said, I was wondering how to stop at 750. I think what you do is periodically you kind of check your word count.
Yeah.
See where you are and see where you are in your story. I had to shave some of my story. I was way over my word count. I ended my story and I was still over my word count.
Okay.
But I couldn't figure a way to have the story make sense.
Okay.
In less words than I put it in.
Wow.
Well, and the thing is, 750 was a guesstimate. If you're an average reader, that's what we were looking at was just the time. So 750 words was average for a 5-minute read. So some people read faster, some people read slower.
Right.
It might be, Angie, that you don't necessarily need to stop right at 750, but just if you go over, just when you go back, once you finish writing, because now you're in the editing process, you go back and say, oh, okay, is there a more concise way that I can write this? Is this detail absolutely necessary? Can I edit it out? Do you have to keep it? So like Andrea, I wrote probably about 1,500 words.
Then I could keep mine at 350. Y'all,
no, you can't.
My thing is this. Don't sacrifice the story worrying about the word count.
Words.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So if it is less than that and it is a story that makes sense, that we will gain something from, so be it. If it's a little over that. A
Right.
little over that. Now, we don't want it to be a novel or that ends up to be a 30-minute read. That's not going to work.
Right.
But as long as you can say within that 5-minute time frame when you were
Okay.
writing it,
Okay.
Yeah.
then you're
I
good.
think I'm good.
But just don't get to the point of stopping your story and we're all wondering, well, what happened? What went on with that? Just
Yeah, as
tell
long as it makes
let the
sense.
story
If you
work.
have a
Yeah.
story, because mine does end on a cliffhanger, ends on a
Mine does
what
too.
happens next, but
Yeah.
there's a complete story around it, and I do have about 1,200 words, so I just
Okay.
could not
Gotcha.
sacrifice anything else. I would end up losing detail. Um,
Christina
okay.
said, "What's the story challenge?" Here's what we did, Christina. We put out there. We say all the time that everybody has a story. It just depends on whether or not they want to tell it. So we opened this up so that people could tell their story, and we had 4 categories, and
Yes.
they were Meet My, which was introducing the audience to someone that you thought was interesting in your life. um, The Unexpected,
Hmm.
The Best Day Ever, and I always leave one out. What was the other one?
Lessons learned.
Lessons.
Lessons learned.
I leave
Yeah.
that one. Lessons learned. So those were the 4 categories, and you were to write a story in about 750 words,
Yeah.
and then you would be on the program to read your story on
Mhm.
Authors Up. So the fact that you ask says to me that perhaps you have a story in one
Oh,
of those categories. And if you do, hey, I think you
Write it.
just write it, write it, write it. And then
yes.
you come on and
Christina, you have my email.
read it. So that's what the story challenge was, because we're trying to help people to understand that writing doesn't have to be something that's a scary thing to do. People all the time go, well, I can't write, I'm not an author, I can't. But what it is putting your story on paper, taking
Yeah.
it from, when we talked about writing, we talked about taking it from the head to the heart and then putting it on paper. So we wanted to give people an opportunity to do that, to share something about themselves that they were familiar with, and
Right.
take away the fear factor that often surrounds writing and the writing process. That's why a lot of times on our program, one of the things that we talk to the authors about is the writing journey. That's a
Mhm.
standard question that we always ask the authors that come on. Tell us about your writing journey. What
Yeah.
was it like? And we've had people who turned out a book in 10 days. We've had people that it's taken years for them
Yes.
to do it. They put it on the shelf and then came back to it. And some people, I think we did have one other person on who wrote a story. It had to do with the pandemic. Was it Serena? I think it was one of our
Yes.
listeners.
Yes.
I think it was
Hmm.
Serena, and she wrote a story, and she read it. She did come on, and didn't she? Yeah.
No, we read it.
Oh, we read it. We
We
read
read
it.
it. Yeah.
Yes, we read it.
So this time you get to read your own story, just like we have the authors tell us about, the books that they have written. So that's what that is all about. So Christina, where would she send her work if she decides to do this, Ruth?
Authors up
Authors.
at gmail.com.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Authors.
And here's the thing, too. A lot of the times, every author that we've had on, they write what they know. And, I think back to the young lady who wrote about the Emily D and the first the fearful first day.
Yes,
Yeah.
What was her name?
I
I
cannot remember.
Terrible host. I am so sorry. If you are listening, you were awesome. Um, but she wrote what she knew,
Yeah.
what she experienced. So, whether you are, and I think that, we haven't seen Victoria's sample yet, but, we've read Andrea's, I shared mine. And the thing is, we wrote what we know. I
I
know
read it to
fiction.
y'all. Remember, we were on the
That
phone.
was like 6 words you read.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
You gave us all 350 words?
I read the whole thing.
Oh.
You might want to go back and embellish that a little bit.
Y'all see how they do me? You see? That is so rude. That was just.
Sorry.
Savon Hong.
Sivan Hong, yes.
Savon Hong is her
Beautiful,
name.
beautiful author.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
great book. And
That
she
was.
wrote from her son's experience. She wrote from her own experience,
Right.
and for her, she wrote what was, natural to her. When I started this writing challenge, I knew I'm gonna write fiction because that's what I write. Victoria, you trying your hand at something new, and it was good. All almost 300 words of it. Stop making.
You better. I don't know, Victoria, but I'm just sort of thinking you need to write some more.
That
Send
has
us what
been
you got. Wait a
established.
minute.
I'm
Send
just.
us what you got.
That has been established already.
But no, again, write what you know, and if it's a complete story, we've done the 6-word challenge,
Yeah.
Right.
6-word story challenge, and I was
Yes.
reading about that today, in just an article I was reading, micro story challenge. It did just so much out there, so many ways to test your storytelling abilities. I think, and it's one thing that I shared this week when I was doing the training. You know, everybody, like we say, everybody's got a story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
How you tell it is, you think about the words that you're going to choose. You
Yes.
think about how you're going to do it. And the thing is, everybody's a writer. We don't have to get stuck on this. Well, I don't want to write a book. We've had several
Right.
authors who were like, I never intended to write a book.
Right.
We have several authors who have been like, well, I wanted to write a book since I was a kid. But the truth is, we're all writers. We're all, whether we're writing an email, writing a text, whatever it is, we're all writers. And I think someone said it last week or the week before, writing is therapeutic. Writing is therapy, and if nothing else, you're writing what's inside of you and bringing it out. Now, whether you choose to
Exactly.
share it or not, it is now out of you, and that leaves more space for other stuff that you can put in, whether it's knowledge, information,
That's true.
positivity, positive emotions. It's just, that's the way I see it. If you can
Yeah.
get it out of you, there's more that you can put in. So that's my
Well, I
pitch.
have a story for the 6-word challenge.
Do you?
You ready?
Uh-oh.
You ready?
Uh-oh.
Will write more. Story needs work.
Drop the mic, Victoria. Drop the mic.
Boom. 6 words. Said it all, right?
That's right. That's right. You did good, Victoria.
Good. Angie says, I've never done this before, but it's been good. Angie,
Good. I'm excited.
so much of this we've never done before.
Right.
But it is a good experience. It is a good experience. And I'm glad that you decided to do it. And I'm glad
too.
that Christina decided to do it. And I'm glad that Christina is deciding to do it.
You know what? And look, any of our listeners, you don't have to send something in. You want to grab a notebook, start writing, type it on your
Do
phone,
it.
whatever. This isn't something, that's required. You have to send it in. You decide you want to write. Today is a great day to start. If you got a story
Exactly.
burning in you, go ahead and put it out there. Again,
Exactly.
you don't have to share it with anybody. It can be your own personal achievement. But writing is something that everybody does. And oh, yay, Toronto, Canada.
All right,
Um,
Canada in the house. Yay.
That's right. So today's a great day to start.
Yep. And remember what Ruth tells us all the time, just write. Just write. start. You got to start somewhere. And I so want to talk about the other thing because so many of these words are popping up, but I can't, so I won't. So you guys got to stay tuned because something good is happening. Something good is happening.
Oh, we might as well.
I thought we were going to talk about everything.
No, Victoria, no, not everything. Even you said I can't tell you now. I have to tell you after the show. So,
Okay, so if
no, go ahead.
Andrea shares her secret, will Victoria share hers?
I don't have a secret. Do I have a secret? I don't have one.
I don't know. Everybody's
Well,
talking
I thought
about
we were
nobody
going to
not
talk about
sharing.
the J word. We were going to talk about that, right?
No.
Oh,
See? She
okay.
said no. Okay. Well, that says to you, listeners, wherever you are, whether you are in Ghana or Jamaica or Canada, right here in the United States, you got to stay tuned because we do have something that we want to announce. Ruth has said we cannot announce it tonight. So we have to be obedient to Ruth.
Look,
But it's coming. It's coming.
Yes, what we will say is save October 15th on your calendar.
Yes.
Okay.
We will say that much.
Got to do that. You don't want to miss what is coming. Something good is coming and you want to be a part of it and you want to know more about it. And every week between now and the time that we actually put the announcement out, we're going to be just dropping some things and telling you a little bit. And, if you want to know more, you can ask us at authors@gmail.com, and who knows, something might slip and you
Yeah,
might
especially
first
Victoria as she logs
partaker
in.
of
She
some
might tell
good
you.
news.
I'm not saying anything.
Victoria says she has been in enough hot water tonight.
Yes, it's going to be quiet.
Now, I do want to talk about something else that is coming, and I want everybody to be on the lookout for it. We have done, what did we call it? I don't know what we called it. At one point we called it radio drama because we were not live. But
Okay.
last year we did do a live dramatic reading.
Authors Up Playhouse.
Authors Up Playhouse. We're going to do that again this year. So in the next probably 30 to 60 days, more than likely, we're going to start doing casting for the play, the Authors Up Playhouse, that's going to be coming up in December. We're going to be doing it in December. So I want you to, just kind of be thinking about that so that it is not a total surprise to you when you see us go online and say, okay, this is the name of the production and these are the characters that we are casting for. And you don't have here's the good news. Here's the good news. You don't have to learn the lines.
Amen.
Woo. But you do have to be familiar with the story and familiar with the script. Hey there, Trillin. Good to have you. She said, yay, casting.
Yay.
all about that. And Trillin has a project coming up called Ebony and Ivory. It is a film that she's doing. And I tell you what, we just applaud you, Trillin, for all of the things that you're doing artistically, all of the work that you're doing. And if you want to type in the comment section what people can do to support that project, because, you never know. You never know who is out there and says, I want to back something. I want to be a part of something that's bigger than me. And I don't know how to go about doing it myself, but maybe, just maybe, I can help somebody else do it. So, Trillin, if you can just type in the comment section where people can go in order to donate and support it is that you're doing for Ebony and Ivory, please feel free to do that so that the listeners of Authors Up, I was giving the wrong show, the listeners of Authors Up can support your efforts, and because we want to see this be successful. I think that when people go out and step out to do the things that they believe God has called them to do, that it's important that we not just get behind them with a pat on the back and a gee, that's a great thing that you're doing, but actually do
Yes.
something that would support the project and support the effort. So please do that for us, Trillin, and we will make sure that we do something for you in return. Okay, so we got that out the way. Victoria, we are actually coming into our last 5 minutes tonight. Is there anything in particular that you want to share with us this evening that would
No.
help anybody in the that would help anyone in their writing journey?
Well, just be consistent. I think that we have really encouraged people to just do it. Like Ruth said, you don't have to join this writing challenge just to, be in the air or to have your story read by anybody else. Just do it for yourself, and writing for me has been very, very soothing. It is, it just helps me process my thoughts, just to get the words down on paper. And in journals, I've found some journals in my moving that I've written years ago, and has just touched me even now, where I was praying for people, and just to get your thoughts out. You just never know how much that'll help you. Just to get your words out on paper, and just to come back and read it again, and just to know your head was at that particular time. And you could start a prayer journal, write your prayers, and then come back to your journal and write down the answers to it. And it's such a good way to go back and looking over your life and see what God has done for you. So I just encourage everybody just to journal.
Just a journal. Alan, if you can post Trillin's comment, she's giving us her link. If you can put that up on the screen for us, that would be great. Yep. Just gonna leave it there for a little bit. So if anybody needs to write it down, they can write it down. So
nice.
we can do
Oh,
that.
yes. And for our podcast listeners, that's https://GoFund.me/5D6AFD36.
And those last ones are 5D is in dog, 6 A is in apple, F is in Frank, D is in dog, 3 6. Okay.
Yep.
We got that done.
Ebony and Ivory.
Ebony and Ivory. It's going to be good. Got a good
Absolutely.
feeling about it. Now, Miss Ruth, do you have any closing remarks for our listeners tonight?
What Victoria said. No, I mean, just, just get, what? I'll say this. I love journals. I really do. I have some on my shelf that I even haven't written in yet. I just bought them because they were cool. They were pretty. And honestly, they're wasting space because they're not being used, and everybody journals differently. Everybody does different stuff. But what I do understand is that paper was meant to be written on. It was meant to be drawn on. It was meant to be used. So
Love that.
So like Victoria said, guys, just do it. And Trillin, we love you.
We love you too.
Love you right back.
Sure do.
Right back. Well, my closing comments for the evening are just live. Just one word, live.
Live.
Just live. That means different things to different people.
Yeah.
My life is not your life. My journey is not your journey. But there is joy in being able to open your eyes. There is joy in being able to move forward. There is joy in connectivity with people from Jamaica and Canada and Ghana.
Yes.
And right here in the United States. And laughter is a wonderful thing. And I'm so glad that we have this kind of opportunity where we can be ourselves, where we can laugh, where we can allow you to laugh, and just put some joy. We work so hard, and we're just always going and always busy and always doing. And we were talking earlier about, take a deep breath and smell
Mhm,
the roses
mhm.
and come back
Yes.
to Authors Up every Sunday night at 7 and relax, learn some new things, and enjoy what you hear, apply what you need to, but most of all, live.
That's
Live.
right.
We have a life.
Amen.
We have a life worth living. And
Amen.
I just thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Victoria and Ruth, I couldn't do it without you. And I love you
Exactly.
ladies.
Exactly.
And God is doing something amazing. We will continue to seek his face, and we will continue to follow whatever it is that he wants us to do. We are greedy. We don't want the good thing. We want the God thing. Huh?
Amen.
So whatever
Amen.
he wants us to do, that's what we want to do. So thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you for letting us know where you are calling in from, where you are
Yes.
listening from. Thank you for all of those on the podcast. Thank you for those of you who came in tonight and just have been on the program with us as
Mhm.
viewers. And I tell you what, we will replay this show on Saturdays at 7 p.m. So if you missed it this time around doing it live, you can get to hear the replay, and you can also share it with somebody that you know that just may need a laugh tonight. Okay.
That's
So
right. Oh, and you can also follow our YouTube channel, subscribe and like. You can also download it as a podcast. By midweek, it'll
Yes.
be up on your favorite platform.
awesome.
All right.
And Trelyn, and in some way, shape, or form, we're going to have to get you to share some of that information. Trelyn said she's at a film festival in Birmingham.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's
Awesome.
with the programming going on with on ALH Broadcasting. We're going to find a show to bring you on so that you can talk about it, and we will let everybody know what you're up to.
Yes.
Okay, that is it for tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us. And like we always say, come back next week, 7 p.m. on a Sunday evening, because you never know what's going
That's
on.
true.
Never know. Good night, Bronze Girls. I love
Good
you.
Everybody.
night.
Good night.